Yes, yes, yes. I know that's not me. It says in the paddock F1, it's Greeny and the Cheese. Pre-season testing, part 2 Bahrain. Thank you for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Please hit that subscribe and like button if you're watching there on the YouTubes. Help us out here at the channel. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Help us out. We need your help. Along with probably helping a lot of other internets too.
Use a lot of.
We are caffeinated, we are medicated, but here we go. Testing, testing, testing. Greeny, how are you, sir?
I am well, as we just watched USA take the first gold home in ice hockey for those here in the States since a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Since back in the day, since 1980. Apparently they made a movie about that. But yeah, we are ready for testing recap. We are ready for the season. Let's do it. We still have 2 weeks to go, so we are going to do next week our prediction show, so get ready for that. Thank you, everyone, for checking out the YouTube channel and checking us out on Apple, on Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. Each week we keep getting more and more listeners and more reactions. If you want to hit us up, in the paddock USA at gmail.com, or you can always hit us up just on YouTube. Leave a comment, subscribe. We'd love to have you join and join the conversation. So, speaking of which, man, first of all, I'm pissed as hell about something. We'll get to that in a few minutes. But once again, Ferrari is on top of the preseason world. Is this going to carry over? This is the big news, Cheese. Your boys. Is this going to carry over in the season? Or just some more February fodder as we have seen many times before?
Well, right now we'll see, because, I don't think everybody was, showing all their cards yet, to be honest. I mean, teams did bring a little different bits and things. The Ferrari rear wing and how that spins was big news too, along with Ferrari
Full 360.
full 360.
I've never seen that before.
But it did seem to help with the balance under braking and things. I guess they saw something, and I guess it's in the regs, and other teams, who knows, might start copying it before Melbourne.
If it works, of course.
If it works,
Copycat
works. I mean, but it was very interesting. I mean, the power plant looks solid so far. They have the best starts out of any of the engine suppliers. I mean, George Russell was saying, they think there's potential in the Mercedes, but starts are going to be a big thing. And how Lewis Hamilton, who was in 11th in it, when they did like a whole tractor start with a bunch of the grid, Lewis went from 11th to first because the Ferrari was the better car to get off the line, with how they have to spin the engines up and things now. So that's interesting. So at the beginning of the first few races, they could come down to that. If you could get a really good start, and that could be a major thing, especially with the aero packages when there's not like a DRS zone thing anymore. So interesting. Am I trying to not get too excited? Yes, because you have to pump the brakes, because not everybody's showing all their cards. I think teams will bring different bits and things probably for Melbourne after, this 2 weeks of testing. The top teams will probably be the top teams. It'll probably be, Merc, Ferrari, McLaren, Red Bull at the top. Everybody else, but your boys were looking pretty good too there, sir. I do have to say.
Getting into testing
Haas
for a
was
moment,
looking pretty good.
Get into testing for a moment. First of all, we'll talk about the front of the field and the midfield and the back of the field. We'll go through everything. But I'm going to start in the front of the field, and I have a problem with this whole Leclerc, Ferrari, everyone getting all pumped. seeing all the videos online of people who filmed themselves watching in disbelief how they were almost a second faster than McLaren and how great Leclerc was. As I'm here, I'm looking at the headlines here, the words blistering, blazing, right, of 131.9. It's I want to take you back to 2025 for a moment, okay? Let me take you back to 2025. Who had the fastest time in preseason testing 2025?
Ferrari.
Anyone? No, it was not Ferrari. It was Carlos Sainz and Williams, who were, by the way, 2.5 seconds faster in Bahrain
Yeah,
last
not
year.
everybody's showing their cards.
Than they were this year. And nobody said, I went back through all the articles this morning because I was reading the articles this morning about how amazing Pokemon boy Charles Leclerc is over there in his Ferrari, blistering and blazing. But last year, Williams put up the fastest time as well. They weren't a second faster than the rest of the field, but they were still better. The best time, 129.3 last year, 2.5 seconds quicker, 2.6 to be accurate, than this year's top time. There was no talk about blistering speeds from Carlos Sainz or how amazing it was. So, in my mind, first of all, the whole Ferrari, leaning on Ferrari, wishful thinking, again, is bullshit. It's complete nonsense, and this is a
Always.
completely to rope you Tifosi and potential future Tifosi
It
in.
happens every year. It happens every year. They tease you. They pull you in. They suck you in. It's gonna be great. We got the car to challenge. We're finally back. They always pull you back in. It's like that. It's like The Godfather. Every time I think I'm out, and they pull me back in. They pull you back in every year. Every
Every
year they
year.
pull you back in.
Every
And
year.
they give you that hope. And then they smash and crush your dreams right in front of your face. That's why I keep saying pump the brakes. Things do look good from certain perspectives, but not everybody is showing all their hands. This is Formula One. Not everybody's showing everything.
It's like the enthusiasm of Ferrari in February reminds me of like Man U fans in July or Dallas Cowboy fans in August or the beloved New York Metropolitan baseball team's March enthusiasm. I'm sure that'll be coming up in a couple weeks here. How they're definitely winning the World Series. It's just these certain teams have this preseason hype, and every year, I would say not every year, 90% of the time, it completely falls on its face.
Mm-hmm.
And every year, everyone buys in it again. So
Mm-hmm.
I know everyone's pumped. I don't mean to shit on your parade, Cheese.
No,
Um,
I'm trying not to get too excited. I'm trying to, you got to prove it when it's money time. And this ain't money time.
the superlatives being used today, this morning, in the papers and in news articles about Ferrari's blistering speed are just so ridiculous.
It's testing. This it's testing.
Well,
They're
listen,
still learning these new cars.
we talked about Ferrari. Let's put Ferrari on the side for now because we got a whole bunch of other teams to talk about. Let's get into Red Bull. James Vowell's coming out. He's saying Red Bull was sandbagging it. He's got apparently GPS and some kind of like helicopters in the sky tracking the speeds, knowing that Max Verstappen was taking his foot off the gas there on the straightaways. How bad do you think Red Bull was sandbagging it, and is Max Verstappen going to come out beast mode here in Australia?
We'll find
Or
out. I mean, who knows? But like I said, not everybody is showing their full hand. Not everybody's still learning and getting their heads around the battery and the power plant. And it was all about seeing if your your powertrain was gonna keep performing and not break. pushing it and pushing it and running it and running it. So, I mean, we'll see. But nobody was giving everything they had. I mean, that's to be dead honest.
It was so clear. Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely
nobody was
clear.
no, not everybody was giving showing their cards. Let's be honest.
Yeah, so especially the front of the pack. So I kind of between Ferrari, Merc, Red Bull, and of course the champs, McLaren. We haven't even mentioned yet. Haven't even mentioned Lando Norris's name yet, uh, who was a solid 8/10 of a second
Mm-hmm.
behind, but it seemed they were really, really playing sandbag and it really playing a rope a dope
Mm-hmm.
game for sure. McLaren didn't even want to show up. It seemed Red Bull, everyone was like playing, especially the top four teams were playing this game. So we're not going to know about the top four until we hit Australia. So if it's okay with you, Cheese, let's get into some of the mid-pack teams as we've been talking about preseason here, and specifically my boys Haas. Thank you for the brand new hat here. My boys over at Haas, as we're getting ready for a potential fifth place finish this year. But it
I mean, they look
seems
good.
that Merc propulsion of Alpine could throw a wrench in there in Haas's chances. Seems like Alpine and Haas are the two teams fighting for that fifth spot. How do you feel about those two teams and what they showed this weekend?
I mean, Haas looked good. The Ferrari power plant looks very reliable and solid. So, and that's what Haas uses. And Haas did it. Haas looked very, very good. Brad Behrman threw down some pretty solid laps. Definitely the leader of that team over Ocon for sure. Um, but good progress. Alpine definitely has made some massive strides, and I think also changing to the Mercedes power plant is definitely helping them out there since their power plant recently has just been pretty much rubbish. So definitely a massive gain there, and the car design looks interesting. But like everything else, it's going to be let's wait and see what happens in Melbourne. But from testing looks, it looks pretty good. I mean, Williams and Audi and Racing Bulls is probably the next group behind those two, possibly right now. But we'll see when everybody shows up with their full hands in Melbourne. That's
Yeah,
that's when that's when everything's going to really start to shake out and see what you got. And it's all learning right now, especially with this crazy new power plant situation that's going on and the way the batteries charge super fast in the straights and you have to recharge it and things. So it's going to be a lot of learning for the drivers, especially, and see where things shake out. But
yeah. Well, we got Alpine and Haas. Looks like at this moment, again, anything can happen. There's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of upgrades as we go through the season. But let's talk about Audi. Not a new team. It's Sauber from last year, so don't
Mhm.
look at it because it could be confusing with Cadillac coming in. But this is not a new team, so they are just taking over. It's a new paint job and a gearbox supplier and a power unit supplier difference there with Audi,
Well, it's
but
their
they
own. It's
didn't
an Audi
look.
power plant now, so
So they were right behind um, Haas and Alpine. They were right on their tails, a fraction of a second behind them, and it may even put them in that mix with Haas and Alpine. What can put them in that mix, potentially going for fifth?
performance out of the car. But nobody's showing everything, so it's the thing you got to keep saying. Everybody's learning. They're definitely the reliability for the Audi power unit looks pretty solid though, from not even being in Formula One to creating a pretty solid power unit that seems to be able to put out the power needed. So that's always a concern for somebody with a new power plant. So definitely positives there for sure. To do a veteran driver too, in the Hulk, so it's definitely going to help with development for sure. So we'll see how things shake out, but is this going to be car performance and what they get out of the power unit and how reliable it's going to be under racing conditions when it's cranked up to full anger mode? which I don't think anybody has put their car into full anger mode yet.
No. No one's put full. I think Ferrari's come the closest. I think they just wanted to show and get all those, hoodie and t-shirt and $85 hats
Yeah,
pre-order because they're in business to make cash as well, so you can't blame them if they
no,
did that. And plus, you're still paying Lewis Hamilton a boatload of money again this season, so you want to get the most out of whatever you can with Ferrari. If they can podium in Australia, then it's game on. Then it's game on, and even if they fall off as they have many times before after podium in Australia or having a podium in China or early on in the season, but then it'll be game on. Let's talk about the back of the pack, and before we get to our last two teams, we have not got to mention yet. Again, check us out if you haven't already. If you got this far in the video or on the podcast, give us a listen. Give us a 5-star review or 4-star review or whatever star review you want to give. Feel comfortable giving, but any review and comment and feedback helps. And if you haven't subscribed or given a like to the channel, go ahead and do that now. And without further ado, we're going to get into Cadillac or Aston Martin first, because I got opinions on both those. First of all,
go
Cadillac.
shoot, fire it up.
Cadillac. There's definitely a lot of talk about the 107% rule coming into effect for Cadillac, but they did have a decent showing. They weren't that far. I mean, they were probably a full second behind Williams. So they would definitely have been pretty far back there and the back of the grid if it wasn't for Aston Martin, who, once again, it seems like just mishap after mishap after mishap, setback after setback. Every time they try to get on track, something happens. They seem completely unprepared. And Adrian Newey does not seem like Adrian Newey of old over there. I don't know if it's a million other moving parts or it's...
He's in the bigger role right now, and it's taken him away from just being concerned about the aero of the car. He's running the whole shebang now, being the team principal. I think that's definitely affecting some performance there. They definitely have a power plant issue, it seems, with the Honda power plant for sure.
Honda's it's a mess. Honda and Aston Martin, that marriage is a disaster right now.
Yeah. So
it is like a celebrity marriage.
That's a major
right
concern because they haven't been able to run the laps because they just haven't had reliable power unit performance. So that's definitely a major issue. So that's a major concern. Everybody else seems to be, getting pretty solid mileage. I mean, Merck did have some issues was it Antonelli? I think he had to park it, so I think he wasn't getting any battery power whatsoever. So that's something that they definitely probably were taking back to the drawing board. I mean, the best power plant, like I said earlier, is definitely the Ferrari. Ferrari hasn't even used a different power plant. They've used the same one for like each testing, for like all of testing. So, I mean, that's super impressive too, on its own. That they haven't even used a different power plant. It's the same damn thing they've been using the whole time. So that shows a lot of reliability. And anybody under the Ferrari power plant can take that for going. Says, Cadillac's also using that as well. But Cadillac's a brand new team, designing their own chassis for the first time and it's going to be a time to get performance out of the car. You have 2 veteran drivers, which will help. But they're not even thinking about, if they get a point, they'll be like stoked. So it's about just learning for that team all season long. And they're basically probably pretty much going to be at the back of the pack. And you knew it was going to take a little time before they started to get anything and showing any type of, lap times or anything out of that car to start. It's their first ever testing and getting anything going. So, but it was going to take a minute. Was it going to happen? Roll off the truck and bang, we're throwing down 8th place times here. Like that's not happening.
So 2024 Sergio Perez outpaced 2026 Sergio Perez. That's the big question, man. That's the big question. I got to look back at exactly how many points Sergio had. That was a bad year for him, 2024, as we
They get
recall.
like a couple points as a team. That would
Oh,
be impressive right
10th
now.
place would be so sweet. That would be like a podium.
Absolutely. If they got
10th
on,
would
they
be a
got into
podium
10th
for
for one
Cadillac.
race. For one race, that would be like a podium for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it looks like at this moment, same with Aston Martin, which is pretty freaking sad. We'll get into all of that next week because we have our prediction show 2026 coming up. Greeny Bucks, we're launching it next week. The Greeny Bucks are back. Am I going to take it again? Are you going to come smash my face? We are tied 4 seasons. We are tied 2-2, dude. So once again, we are a tiebreaker. You were trying to go up 3-1 against me, but I came back, tied up the lifetime head-to-head. One of us is going to take the lead after this season. That's a fact. So we will see what
There's a
happens
crapshoot
there.
for a lot of the beginning here, so who knows what you're going to
Complete
get.
crapshoot. So throw your bucks down or not, and we're looking forward to that and all the other segments and all the other fun we're going to have this season. Say what you got to say, brother, as we send everyone off here.
Well, as always, thanks for listening. If you made it this far again, hit that subscribe and like button. Help us out here at the channel. And as always, stay medicated, my friends.
Be safe, all those in the New York City area. Speak to you later. Peace.